We're going to go comic book shopping on eBay, see if we can find a good deal. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. Before we get started, like, comment, subscribe, do all that great stuff. Instagram, Bronzeville_comics. I'm on Whatnot at Bronzeville_comics. We do sales Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't signed on to Whatnot and you want to, there's a link in the description. You'll get $10 off your first purchase. Also in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store as well as my email. So I'm going to go shopping on eBay. This is a process that often benefits to find a good deal. And I'm talking about a good deal of a comic book. Let's just dive into the computer and see what we find. So we're going to go to eBay. Now, the first thing is, I have some recently viewed items. This was a little bit lower grade than the price I thought. This wasn't a bad price, but I wasn't sure the grade would be what I want. I actually have this book. I have 3 of those. Anyway, the first thing is to know where to look. So I already have this as a safe search, but I want to go through kind of my process. And if you go to shop by category and then collectibles, and under collectibles, comics, and we want comic books. I'm not interested in manga or merchandise or comic art. I'm interested in comic books, right? So we're going to see a whole bunch of listings, and usually these are the promoted listings. A lot of them are these comic book lots where you just kind of, it's almost like a mystery box, right? So that's not what I'm interested in. So we want to set our filters, right? So the first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to, sometimes I'll maybe only look for DC books. Sometimes I'll only look for silver or gold, maybe bronze, but we're going to keep it open. But the one thing is I want to do is price, right? And I'm going to start with $20, right? That'll filter out a lot of lower value books. And what we want to do is not best match, because again, we get these mixed lot of 50 modern to bronze to modern, free shipping. Not interested. I'm not interested in 50 random books. Same thing here. Okay. What we want is newly listed. Okay. So this is something where these are books that have just been put on as buy it nows. Okay. So I'm going to avoid graded books for the most part. If something jumps out to me, especially if it was something kind of rare, then I might consider it, right? Naomi hardcover. So you're going to get a lot of LB Cole cover for $200. That's kind of interesting. Popular Teenagers 8 from 1951. Let's just take a look at that. I probably won't buy that. Popular Teenagers 8. Help to spell things right. So, yeah. So I have 2 popular romance. Here we are. Popular Teenagers 8. Only 4 sales. They have a 1.8 up for $200. It is an LB Cole cover. 3.5 sold back in 2020 for $300. That's probably a fair price, but that's not what I'm in the market for. I want to find something that is kind of a silver bronze age key. First Man Bat. The picture looks pretty good, right? In terms of the condition, but we got a little bit that looks somewhat pressable. Top looks okay, but we do have some spine stress lines. And if we look, let's take a look at all the pictures and see. I think that's probably a little bit pricey Back cover looks okay. There is some tanning on the edges. It's largely pressable. I'm going to say I think this could get us conservatively. You want to be conservative. Oh, there's a corner bend. I just go back. That is a limiting factor. I'm going to say a 7. Right? The color looked pretty good. So let's say a conservative 7 for this book. What is Detective Comics 400 in a 7? Detective Comics number 400. I know it's not well in excess of $270. Right? So you're buying a raw book. $270 is not a bad price. A 7 is $350, $400 book. You'd really need this to be an 8.5 or better, which I don't think it is. Like, I'm kind of looking for a double up on a raw book. Now, yeah, I think it's a pretty decent book, but I already have one. I'm going to pass that up. Okay. So we're going to open up. There we go. It's a 10 and number 16 and $94. That's pricey. Showcase 25. I would love a Showcase 20 First Rip Hunter. Spawn 1, dime a dozen. I just had one of these out of my press. That is, for a high grade book, that's a solid price. I'm kind of bypassing. Sometimes these comic book lots, if you see something that catches your eye, might be worth it. Ghosts number 1, very good find. Meh. I mean, and the other thing too is, First Gambit, $135 seems low. Okay, let's take a look at the book. Not bad. Blurry. A little bit of wear there. Something going on. Looks like some staple discoloration. You have to be, and now look here. That kind of, is there some staple rust on this book? There is some discoloration at the edges. I don't think there's enough information here for me to make $135. 100% positive, only 129. Has been read, but is in good condition. Very minimal damage to the cover, including, so they do scuff marks, but no holes or tears. Dust jacket for hardcovers may not be included. Bindings. So this is just a general description. Let's see. Uncanny X-Men 266. Let's say a 9. I think that's a conservative grade on that book. And what's their asking price? Yeah, 9 is that's about right. $135. You'd need it to be a 9.6 for it to be worth it. I don't think it is. So we'll take a pass on that one. Fair price. So first Harry Osborn. And when you go to the next page, you'll see some reprints as things get pushed down. And eventually you're going to want to go back to the top. $24 for this book, but that's easy. That's an easy book to find in high grade. Where were we? There. The first Harry Osborn Green Goblin, $1,400 for 9.8. First Carnage. Pictures backwards, whatever. I have enough of those. Betty and Me, number 55, this classic gymnastics pose cover. $375 Canadian for a 7.0. This is that's pricey. That's a book I like. That alternate cover of Darth Vader, number 3. First Dr. Aphra. So yeah, we'll see. Spider Woman. Enough of those. 9.6 for first Captain Carrot. Hardback. Softcover. I mean, Pre-code horror for 4,000. No, thank you. This book, the Secret Wars 5, $42. Batman lot, $25. And it's sold. That did not last long. That was a good deal. $55 for, I think they meant that as a starting bid. Yeah, that was a good, somebody got a good deal out of that. And it wasn't me. Because those books look to be in decent mid-grade. So, okay, we were too slow on the trigger on that one. And you can see those deals are there. They're there to be had. Here's another one. Buy now for $50, but this doesn't have, I don't think, the same quality of book as the other one. The other one had some silver. So, Batman 4, $3,200. That could be a good deal, but that's not. The Flash Gordon 1 is not. If this is high grade, maybe. It's not a bad book for that price. Foxing. I'm going to take a pass. Let's just take a quick look. So this is listed for $23. That might be about what it's worth. Yeah, VF for $50. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to. Another Batman lot. I'm going to scroll down to the Batman lot. And then I'm going to go back to page 1 to see what's newly listed. Okay, some of the stuff. Another Archie Innuendo cover. Iron Man lot. 35 vintage DC Detective Comics. $350, about $400. Well, $359. That looks to be lower grade. It is kind of a Pence copy. They all have the Pence stamps on them. This is coming from Britain. So you're paying, I guess, shipping another $45. So nearly $500. First League of Assassins. This is all kind of mid-grade stuff. And then this later stuff isn't that interesting. You want to get a lot of spine stress wear there. I'll call it a 3. I don't think it's worth it. If this was nicer shape, because if this paid for it, $500. Yeah, 3 is like maybe yeah. Yeah, if it was like a 5, definitely. I'm gonna take a pass on that one. That one's tempting. You know what? Actually, other people have looked at it. And we're gonna go back to page 1. $50. That's a bit pricey for that. I've gotten that cheaper. $244, $20. This looks like the same person that listed the Gambit book, and only one picture. Nah, no thanks. It's also a matter of what issue of Static is that? It's like one of the early issues. If it was one of the later issues, it'd be worth it. Potentially. Okay, let's go back to page 1. Venom Lethal Protector. A lot of things where the pictures haven't loaded up yet. There we go. Okay. Kamandi, number 1. No, this isn't bad. It's probably the same person who had the Man Bat 1. It's not a bad looking book. I mean, pressable defects, definitely. You know? I'd say maybe an 8. $7.58. Nice gloss. A little bit up there. I don't think it's worth $100. If I was in the market for this book, I might, if I definitely wanted that book, not a bad. Evil Ernie, this is not the original run. This is interesting. Let's take a look at this one. We have some creasing. The staples look fairly solid. A little wear at that staple. Creasing down here. I'm going to say a 6.5 conservatively. So the back cover looks nice. It might be better than that, but let's say a 6.5. And we can have room for growth on that. So Iron Man and Submariner number 1. Let's see. Yeah. You'd need a little bit better grade for that. That's kind of fairly priced. Again, this is one of the books like, if I really wanted this for my collection, that wouldn't be a bad price. Indicative of how my comic shop operates. This one. So it's my comic shop listing. Marvel Superheroes number 20. Go to mycomicshop.com. Right? And we search for Marvel Superheroes. Let's find the right series. This one? Yes. Let's go to number 20. And this was listed as a VG 4.0. This one. Yep. VG 4.0. We can see on eBay, they have it for $190. On their own website, $165. So you're saving $25 right off the bat by going to their website. That is useful information. That's a trick of the trade, so to speak. Third print. Yeah. Okay, that's just doesn't look bad. That can be cleaned up, I think. There too. Let's see. Third print. Not worth as much as even the second print. Yeah, it would have to be a 9.4 might be worth. I mean, that's close to worth it. That definitely looks to be in the 9s, right? And this is not a professional background. Best offer. Positive reviews. What is it? PF 70, 60. I'm going to make an offer on this. It's like a $60 offer, which after shipping and everything will be 70. Definitely in the 9s. I can double it up. Double up. So my offer was accepted for $60, ended up with taxes and shipping to be $72.07. Let's take another look at the book. I'm pretty sure 100% positive feedback rating. I mean, it looks pretty sharp. Let me just, I don't see anything that stands out to me as a major defect. Maybe a little bit of a spine stress line there, but maybe a little soft corner there. And the back looks, I mean, we need to erase something there. That'll clean off with an eraser. So it's kind of a risk versus reward, right? So $72 for the book. Based on what it is. So let's take a look at where that puts us. Here's the thing. Low risk, right? A fine copy sold for $70. Okay. So figure 72 in. If I slab it as part of a lot, so the shipping isn't too much, you're talking, let's say, $100 all in, right? For a slabbed copy. Worst case scenario, it's like a 9, it's 7.5. I mean, you're talking about you're not going to lose any money. Now, here's the hope. The hope is that you get it into the 9.4, 9.6 range, in which case you're talking about an 80% return on investment. So, and also it's a book that sells a lot. So it's, for the right price, you're not going to be stuck with it, even if it's, and the other thing too, is if there's some undisclosed defect in the book, or if it's shipped poorly, which is always a concern, then you do have eBay protection. As a buyer, you could send the book back and get a refund. Okay. You don't want to spend the time of that though, but here's where like kind of the rolling the dice could come into play. A 9.8 most recent sale in December for $500. I mean, you go back a year, $1,500 for a third print. Batman 423. I think a 9.8 is unlikely, but let's say there's a 10% chance of that. You're talking probably, what do we get for this? Well, it's $285. Well, that's kind of low. I mean, it's been all over the place. You could probably get at least $300, which for $100 all in is not a bad return on investment, and maybe up to $400 or $500, depending on how you set it. These are all auctions. The fixed price went for $600. I mean, look at the $1,500. That's insanity. But yeah, we'll see when the book comes in. So it's kind of a 3-step process. It's buying the book. It's seeing what the book is when I get it in hand. And then after a press. And then essentially if I send it in what CGC deems it to be. So that's a little shopping expedition. Sometimes you find something, sometimes you don't. Maybe I did stretch a little bit to buy something. But again, I think it was not a great deal, but a good deal where there's potential for profit and very little chance for loss. So let me know what you think. And it's a cool book. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for stopping by. If you want to take a look at a couple of my other videos right here. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.